And all right. Come on up to Samastitihi. And then take a couple of moments in Samastitihi, just feel your feet root down, arches lift up. You're gonna connect up the arch all the way up the inseam of your legs to your pelvic floor. So find that connection from the arches of the feet to the pelvic floor. Tone your belly, kind of feel all sides of you pull in toward the midline. And then loop your armpits. So roll them up, back, and down so that you get this nice opening and broadness through the chest. And Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach the arms up and over your head, gaze up at your fingers. Exhale, fold down. And as you fold down, draw the belly away from up so that you get a little bit more space through the hinge of the hips. Inhale, head up, lung back. Exhale, hands down. Take your feet back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lead with the hips. Use your hands to really press back here. Gaze to the navel, navel to your spine. This is 2. 3. 4. And 5. Empty your lungs, look where you're going. Inhale, take the feet up to the hands. Exhale, fold back down over your legs. And then inhale all the way back up, reach up, look up at the hands. Exhale, press your arms down to your sides. Second time, Ekam, inhale. Dwe, exhale. Trini, inhale, head up, lung back. Chaturanga, exhale, take it back. Pancha, inhale, upward facing dog. Chest projects forward. Shot, downhill, exhale, downward facing dog. 1. Push the thigh bones back, lift the sit bones up. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Empty your lungs, look where you're going. Sapta, inhale, the feet go up to the hands. Ashtau, exhale, fold down over the legs. Nava, inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, Samastiti. All right, again, inhale, reach up, look up, belly in and up. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Inhale, head up, long back. Exhale, hands down, take your feet back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips back, downward facing dog, and breathe. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Exhale fully, look forward. Inhale, take the feet up to your hands. Exhale, fold down over your legs. And then inhale, reach all the way up, look up at your hands. And Exhale, press the arms all the way down to your sides. All right, let's move into Surya Namaskara B. Inhale, Utkatasana. Drop your butt down a little bit lower than you want to, and exhale, straighten the legs forward, fold over them. Inhale, head up, long back, look forward, and then exhale, take the feet behind you, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, lead with the head. Exhale, downward facing dog, lead with the hips. Virabhadrasana A, pull the low belly in as you step the right foot up. Back heel down, arms up. Exhale, it's a long exhale all the way down to chaturanga. Inhale for your upward facing dog. Exhale, hips pull you back, downward facing dog. Second side, the left foot steps up, the back heel goes down, reach up. And exhale, hands down, either side of the foot, step it back and lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips lead, downward facing dog. Press it back. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Okay, exhale completely. So exhale to the end point of the breath. Inhale, feet up to the hands, look up, loop your armpits here so that you're opening the chest a little bit. Exhale, fold back down. And then inhale, drop your butt, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastiti. Ekam, Utkatasana. Dve, fold. Trini, inhale, head up. Chatwari, exhale, feet back, lower down. Pancha, inhale. Shap, exhale. Sapta, the right foot up. Reach up, look up. Ashtau, exhale all the way down, same breath. Nava, inhale. Dasha, exhale. Ekadasha, inhale, step up, drop the back heel down, reach the arms up. Dodasha, exhale, hands down, step it back and lower down. Trayodasha, inhale, upward facing dog. Chaturdasha, exhale, down dog, and breathe. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Exhale to the end point. Sodasha, inhale. Saptadasha, exhale. Ashtodasha, inhale, Utkatasana. Samastiti. All right, last time, do this one at your own pace and we'll meet up in Samastiti. Becca, when you're going from up dog to down dog, head is the last thing. So you're kind of dropping your head a little too soon, Becca. Like have it be the last thing. Correct. it just kind of makes the movement a little bit less jerky, I think. And typically, I think it kind of relieves some of the tension around the neck and shoulders. Okay, Padangustasana. Take your feet hip distance apart. Fold at the hips, spread your toes, catch your big toe. Inhale, head up. Exhale, fold down. Shift the weight of the hips a little bit forward so it's over your heels. It might kind of make you feel like you're going to fold forward a little bit. Keep pulling your abs up to stabilize the posture. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, head up. Padhastasana. Exhale, place the hands down underneath your feet. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, fold. 1. Keep your legs engaged, the thigh bones press back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, return to Samastitihi. Trikonasana. Inhale, step out to the right. Little bit of a longer stance than you might be accustomed to. And then I want you to reach through the pinky finger here, extend the right hand over the right leg. Hand can go down to the mat. It could go to your shin. It can go to a block. It can go to your toes. And then pull through your sternum. 2, good. 3, looks good. 4, and 5. Inhale, the left hand pulls you up. Turn your feet, face the front edge of your mat. Exhale to the second side. Left hand pulls you up. See if you can see your left hand with both eyes. That usually gives an indication if your hand is in roughly the right place. Sometimes people have a tendency to really reach the hand back. So the eye check helps with that. This is 4. And 5. Inhale, right hand pulls you up. Pravrita Trikonasana. Square your hips. Tone the low belly, kind of scoop it up and away from the hip joint, left hand down, right arm up. Try to truly rotate your rib cage here. So that might mean that you're better off on your left fingertips, but you want to get a nice twist so that the rib cage is facing the back edge of your mat. This is 4 and 5. Inhale, windmill your arms up. Turn and face the front edge of your mat. Right hand down, left arm up. And again, you're trying to get a real rotation from the rib cage. So often that's a little bit easier to achieve if you're on your fingertips or on a block. Keep pulling through the sternum, so it's like you're pulling the torso along in opposite directions. One more breath. And then keep reaching through the hands. Inhale, windmill your arms up, face the long edge of your mat. Exhale, Samasthiti to the top of the mat. Parshva inhale, step out to the right. Little bit of a longer stance than you might want to. Lunge down, reach the left arm over the ear. Keep the right knee projecting forward so that you're really dropping into a lunge here. Push into the outside edge of your back foot. This is 3, 4, and 5. Keep the legs strong. Inhale, pull yourself up, turn, face the other direction, lunge, left hand down, right arm reaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Strong legs. Inhale up, pass through Virabhadrasana B, and then turn, pivot, and revolve. So remember, this revolved action is much more aponic in nature. You're really going to kind of flex the back, especially right here in the low abdomen. And then reach the arms over the ears. Can I pull this one a little? This is 3. Keep the knee, the front knee driving forward in the lunge. 4, 5. Strong legs. Inhale up, hit Virabhadrasana B, and then turn, pivot, second side. Lunge, twist, reach. Keep the back leg strong. I don't care if the heel's on the mat or not. If you like the heel up, that's totally fine with me, but you do want the back leg strong. Good. One more breath here. And then inhale, come on up. Exhale, Samasthiti, top edge of the mat, Prasarita, Padottanasana. Step out to the right. We're only going to do A and C. Catch your waist, inhale, exhale, fold, catch your big toes. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not what I need to do. Put your hands down. So we'll do A, not D. Inhale, head up, and then exhale, fold down. Once you're down, once you're folded, kind of energize your elbows towards each other like there was a magnet drawing them in, and then keep the arches of the feet lifting up and find that connection from the arch all the way at the inseam of your leg to your pelvic floor, even when your legs are wide. So it's almost like you're making a big wrinkle in your mat. Everything's adducting a little bit, drawing in, staying super energized and connected. One more breath here. Okay, inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. We're going into C. Inhale, spread the arms. Exhale, interlace the hands behind your back. Big inhale, pull, stretch the chest, feel the shoulders open a little bit. Exhale, fold. Do you want to push here, Paul? Reach your hands toward the floor. 1, 2, 3, spread your toes. 4, 5, and then a strong inhale, strong legs, all the way back up. And exhale, step to Samasthiti at the top edge of your mat. Parshvottanasana. Reverse namaste if it's available to you. If it's not available, I think the fists is always a really nice option. And then once you have your hands wherever they are, you can kind of make that looping of the armpits again to really stretch open the chest and the fronts of the shoulders. Now, right foot steps back. You're going to turn and pivot, face the back edge of your mat. So you want your hips square, your chest square. Scoop in the low belly. Exhale, fold over your right leg. This is actually a very subtle twist, this posture. So the right side is moving a little bit toward, the left side is moving a little bit toward the right leg here. And I think sometimes to help the hips stay kind of steady here, it's helpful to create the sensation that you are stepping into your front leg. So it's almost like you feel some weight shift there and the front leg stays super engaged. One more breath here. And then inhale, come all the way up, turn pivot, face the other direction. Exhale, fold over the left leg now. So it's a very subtle twist again. It's called an oblique twist. So you move the oblique a little bit toward the left leg. And then strong leg, inhale, take it up. Exhale, Samasthiti, top edge of the mat. Okay. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Left leg's the standing leg, right leg is the one that's up. So you can grab your knee or you can grab your big toe. And then whatever you're grabbing, plug the arm bone back into the shoulder so you're not totally reaching from the arm. If you like to fold over your leg, you can go ahead and fold over the leg. That's up to you. Keep the standing leg engaged and strong. This is I'm gonna count fast, so we'll call this 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, open to the right. Exhale, gaze to the left. Remember the standing leg, that's the one that we're really focusing on. So keep it strong. And I think it can be super helpful here to keep your balance, to feel like you're supporting the ceiling with your head. So keep pushing the head up. Exhale, take it back to the middle. Fold over the leg if that's appropriate for you. Inhale, head up. Catch the waist, float the leg. Strong standing leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, lower it down. Samasthiti. Notice the difference in your sides, and then let's even that out. This time the right leg's the standing leg, the left leg is the leg that is lifted. Catch your big toe so you can bend your knee, or you can just go for the big toe. And then pull the arm bone back into the shoulder socket, because sometimes people really like to reach the arm here. That's not the objective. Standing leg is strong. This is 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then inhale, open to the left, gaze to the right if you're able. And remember, feel like the ceiling is, the head is supporting the ceiling. So it's like this sensation of pushing up. 3, and keep finding Samasthiti. Is everything else in Samasthiti except for the left leg. 5, inhale back to the middle. Exhale, fold over the leg. Inhale, head up. Exhale, float the leg. 1, 2, 3, good, 4, and 5. Samasthiti. All right, Ardha Baddha Padma Padottanasana. Right leg to half lotus if it's available to you. Tone your low belly. Let the inner thigh open and drop here. So if you want to bind and fold, you can go right ahead and bind and fold. Paul doesn't normally do that, so, and I actually usually don't either. Up to you. Sometimes this one's a little bit intense so early in the practice. These look pretty good though. Great. Inhale the head up. Exhale, pause. And then inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, release. Okay. Let's try the second side. The left leg goes to the half lotus position. And then remember, take a second here and really find it. I think it can be super helpful to tone the low belly, create a little bit more space through the hip joint, and then really let the left knee drop down. And then from here, if you want to bind and fold, you can go right ahead. Otherwise, just stay standing. Great. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale to Samasthiti. Okay. And then we do a Surya Namaskara to Utkatasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, head up. Exhale, hands down, the feet go back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push it back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, look where you're going. Inhale, hop the feet up to the hands, Utkatasana. Drop your butt immediately and maybe drop it a little bit lower than you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's go into Bakasana today. So you're going to put your hands down, bring your knees to your armpits, actually, if available to you, and then dome the back, flex the hips, flex the knees, and exhale, take it back to chaturanga if available. And let's meet up in downward facing dog. Okay, from downward facing dog, step forward into Virabhadrasana A. The right foot steps up, the back heel pushes down, keep the back leg strong. Pull the left rib cage forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, turn pivot, exhale, second side. 1, 2, keep the left knee moving forward in line with the second toe if it's available. That's considered healthy alignment. And then exhale, split it to Virabhadrasana B. So now the chest is facing the long edge of the mat. The pelvis kind of opens that way as well, but not much else changes. Maybe a little bit of movement from the feet. And of course the arms. Shoulders go down your back. Drishti is over the left hand. And then inhale, straighten the left leg, turn pivot, second side, your back facing the front edge of your mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale the hands down either side of the foot, step it back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. We'll move forward into seated. So from downward facing dog, you can hop or scoot or float yourself through to a seated position for Dandasana. Dandasana is like the seated version of Samasthiti. Legs extend out in front of you. Depending on the length of your arms, you put your hands down so the hands touch. So for some people, it'll be back a little bit forward, further, some people forward more. Lift the chest and breathe. Paschimottanasana. Inhale, catch the big toes, and then exhale, forward fold. So Mike, did you see the little video I did on hamstring injuries here yeah, is that a nod? Okay, yeah. So you can just kind of keep that sensation of pulling the heels back to protect the hamstring. And then when you're in these forward bends, think about getting long, not about getting down, like lengthening as much as you can through the spine. And then let's move into Paschimottanasana B. Inhale, head up. Exhale, take your hands, your choice, outside edges of your feet, or grab your wrists beyond your feet. So whatever suits you is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. We're going to skip this vinyasa. So inhale, sit up, and we're going to go right into Parsvottanasana. We're going to do Parsvottanasana twice. First time with bent knees, because I think it's a really nice shoulder opener. So your knees are going to be bent. You take your hands behind you, 6 inches, whatever, same difference as you normally would. Lift the chest first, And then lift the hips. Is that a question, Jackie? Yeah, wait, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
No, I gotta go. Thank you.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you tuned in. Bye, I'll see you soon. Yeah. And then lower down. And then we'll do the traditional one as well, just regular Parsvottanasana with the straight legs. So lift the chest first, so you're really getting that opening through the chest and the shoulders, and then inhale, take it up. And so this is another great one for hamstring injuries because your hamstring is really contracted, you're lifting it up. So it's glutes, it's hamstrings that are working, the back side of the body is working, the front side of the body is opening. So it's kind of the opposite of a forward bend. And then exhale, lower down. And now we'll take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale, take yourself back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Okay, from downward facing dog, you hop through to a seated position again, this time for Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. It is a half lotus with the right leg and the left leg is the extended leg. Bind if binding is available to you. And if your lotus leg is really hovering off the mat, I would suggest putting a little block or a blanket or something to help ground it. And then when you are ready, fold over your left leg. And 5, inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, put yourself into a little ball, lift yourself up. And then exhale, take it back for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Jump through to a seated position. Second side, the right leg is straight leg, the left leg is in a seated half lotus. Two, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale that up, exhale, pause, inhale, release, and lift yourself up, and exhale, take it back to chaturanga. And then from downward facing dog, you jump through to chaturanga, mukha ekapada paschimottanasana. Right leg folds, left leg extends. You can sit on a block here if you like. And then when you're ready, exhale and fold over your right leg. And again, this is another one when you fold over your left leg, and it's another little bit of an oblique twist. So the right side moves subtly toward the left leg. This is 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift up and take it down. And second side, from downward facing dog, jump through for left side, chaturanga, mukha ekapada paschimottanasana. Left leg bends, right leg is straight. So it's an internal rotation of the left leg. There's a slight adduction of the inner thighs here, and it's a subtle oblique twist with the left side rotating subtly toward the right side. And same is true in all of these forward bends. It's not really so much about getting down as it is about getting long. So think about lengthening. This is 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift up and take it down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, jump through Janu Shirshasana A. So you're going to hop through to a seated position. The right leg goes to a seated tree posture. the arch of the foot is along the inseam of the opposite leg. Try to root the right leg down, ground it, and then another oblique twist over the left leg. Do you want an adjustment? This is 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, take it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Okay, jump through to a seated position. And second side, the right leg's the straight leg, the left leg is the bent leg. Try to ground the left leg down so that you get as open as you can through the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, take it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Janu Shirshasana B. Go ahead, jump through. And it looks almost the same from the outside, except you're seated on your heel, so it feels much less comfortable. Slightly smaller angle with the front leg, so maybe it's more like around 70 degrees. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, take it back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, front side of the body opens. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hop through to a seated position for your second side. The left leg folds, and then you can just kind of lift your hips up, scoot forward, and sit on your heel. 1, 2. Keep reaching long through the crown of your head. Let your shoulders move away from your ears. 4. And then 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Hop through to a seated position. Janu Shirshasana C. So it's helpful often for a lot of people to sit on a block here. And then you're going to get the toes down and the heel up. And then when you're ready, you can fold over the straight leg. Good. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift up, take it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, jump through, second side. The left toes are down, the left heel is up, and the arch of the foot is along the inseam of the opposite leg. And then when you're ready, fold over the straight leg. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, take it back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Marichyasana A. Hop through to a seated position. Left leg is straight. Right knee is up. Right foot is down. Lean forward, reach forward, and then kind of swim your arms back. Bind if it's available to you. If it's not available, it's not really a big deal. And then do your best to fold forward here. Push the arm into the shin bone. I think that can really help to get a little bit deeper into the hip. Good. And then one more breath. Inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, take it back to chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. Exhale to down dog, and then hop through for your second side. The right leg is the straight leg, the left leg is the bent leg. So you're going to reach forward, wrap and bind. Good. Yeah, keep the straight leg active. Sometimes it wants to flop to one side or the other. And then inhale, head up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, take it back, chaturanga. Inhale for your upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Hop through to a seated position. And then let's move into Marichyasana B. Mari B, the left leg is in lotus, the right leg is back in the Marichyasana position. You can always modify and do Janu Shirshasana shape with the left leg. Half lotus is great if it's available to you. The right leg, the lotus leg is also, the left leg is also the anchor here. So you want to keep that really weighted down, grounded down, and then bind however it's available to you. So the weight's going to come a little bit forward here. Don't worry about trying to get the sit bones down. That doesn't happen for most body types, or at least not very comfortably. And then after 5 breaths, inhale, head up, exhale, pause. And then come out of it carefully for your knee and take your vinyasa. And then second side, hop through when you're ready. The right leg does the half lotus this time. And again, you're trying to keep that half lotus weighted. It's part of the foundation of the posture. So let it be weighted down. And then the left leg is in the Mari position. Shift the weight a little bit forward and then bind if it's available to you. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. And cycle through your vinyasa. Marichyasana C, hop through for a seated position. The left leg is straight, the right leg bends. I think it's helpful to kind of shift the weight forward into the right foot a little bit here to help with the bind. Or often I suggest people sit on something to help shift the weight forward. You can see Paul's on a little block, so that's a nice way to do it. Bind if it's available to you. Keep the right leg active. So the right leg's actually slightly an internal rotation. This is 3, 4, 5, turn and face forward, and then release. Inhale, lift up, and then cycle your way through a vinyasa. From downward facing dog, jump through to your second side. Okay, the left leg is the one in Marichasana, the right leg is bent. Lean forward toward the bent leg. Find if binding is available to you. So the better able you are to close that gap between the armpit and the knee, it makes the bind a lot easier. And that's when sitting on a blanket or a block or something can be super helpful because it helps close that space. Slight internal rotation of the straight leg. All right. And then turn and face forward and release. Inhale, lift yourselves up. Exhale, take it back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale to downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, let's give Mari D a shot here. For Mari D, again, super helpful to just sit on a block, but the left leg is the one in a half lotus, and the left leg grounds. And then the right leg goes to the Marichasana position if it's available to you. So a great way to make this pose a little bit more accessible is to simply hug it. You can see Paul's doing the hug right now, and I like that as a step toward getting into Marichasana. Once, or if you're able to have your armpit and your knee together, like all the way touching, then you can attempt to slide over it. But until they're touching, unless you have super long arms, it's probably, the bind might not be that close. These look pretty good as they are though. Yeah. Hips factor in here hugely. And of course, shoulders. All right, turn and face forward. Nice job. Go ahead and take yourself through a vinyasa. And hop through to a seated position. And then from that seated position, we'll give the second side a shot here. The right leg is the one in half lotus, and the right leg it's weighted as much as you can. So you want the weight to be forward so the right leg can be down, and that's when sitting on a blanket or a block helps a lot. Hug in so that the armpit and the knee are together. And then once you have the armpit and the knee together, if you're able to kind of pop the arm over the leg, awesome. If you can't, just stay there with the hug and get your 5 breaths there. 3, 4, 5. Exhale fully. Turn and face forward. And then inhale, lift yourself up. And exhale, take it back to chaturanga. Inhale for the upward facing dog. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Let's just do, we're just gonna do 2 Navasanas, just tiny taste of Navasana, and then we'll move into the first part of the second series. So you're gonna hop through, find the balance, backs of the sit bones, front of the tailbone, and extend the legs. Or don't extend them, you can keep them bent, I don't really care. Reach the arms are at shoulder height, and then lift as much as you can out of the foundation here. And I think that's really then kind of the key to Navasana, is to feel like everything's really lifting up. 1 more breath. And then hug yourself into basically the smallest ball that you can. Lift yourself up, put yourself back down, and let's do it 1 more time. Navasana. Good, reach to the fingertips. Keep the arm bones plugged in. This is 4 and 5. Okay, and then go ahead, take a vinyasa. And we're just gonna do the back bends today. So we'll skip Pashasana and Kranchasana. And then from downward facing dog, we're moving into Shalabhasana. So shift the weight forward, lower down, hit chaturanga, and then hit the belly. Let's start with arms to the sides. And then from here, keep your hands down. So the tops of the hands stay on the mat. Pull your belly button up and off the mat if you can. So like feel the belly button pull into the spine. Keep the hands down. Take everything else up off of the mat. And you want it to feel like you are pulling in opposite directions here. A little of an internal spin on the legs. And try to lift the thighs up, but with straight legs. So the thighs are coming up high, but the legs are staying as straight as possible. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then you switch to the chaturanga arms here, but you're not pushing still. You're in the same shalabhasana shape. But I kind of like the arms like this a little bit better because it usually makes it a little, you can kind of create a little bit more traction with the fingers. So kind of create some resistance and feel the chest project a little bit more forward. And the thighs keep lifting up. And then put your feet down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, lead with the hips, downward facing dog. Shift the weight forward, hit a plank. I want you to pause in plank, lower down, pause in chaturanga, lower down, hit the belly. We're gonna do Ekapada Bakasana, so just the one-legged version. Prop yourself up on your left forearm, bend your right leg, catch the inside of the foot, and then you kind of pivot the fingertips forward. So it's basically a chaturanga arm, but with your foot underneath the arm. Do you know how to do it, Becca? Okay, so I'm gonna, Paul, we do this a little bit more slowly so Becca can see? Okay, so it's super important when you're new to the pose to really have yourself propped up because you typically need to make a little bit more space for your shoulder to rotate. So lifting the chest up is helpful. You could also put yourself underneath a bolster or something. Bend the right leg. Okay, and then wait, slow down so she can see. Okay, so you're gonna catch the inside of the foot. So you start with the hand kind of like by the big toe and then start to push down. And then from here, the fingertips rotate so they can face forward and the elbows back. And then you start to push down. So if you can't do it, it's typically the shoulder that's kind of the limiting factor, but start at the inside of, I'm just gonna watch you for a second, Becca. Yeah, and now push the foot down and yeah, and now twist the fingertips a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that's it. It's just kind of tight, but that's good. Good, okay. And then let's try the left side. So go ahead and switch your sides if you haven't already. And you're gonna push down the left foot. And I think to get the best push possible, if you have the option, which Becca, you probably don't have the option right now, but like Mike, he probably could, try to get your hand in the middle of the foot. So if the more the hand is in the middle of the foot, the better leverage you get. So when the heel of the hand is just lining up with the toes, it's kind of like the toes bend. But when you get the heel of the hand in the middle of the foot, it's a little bit more intense for the quad and for the shoulder. Okay, if you want to give both sides at the same time a try, you can. So Mike, you can go ahead and do the full pose. Tasha and Becca, you can try, but you can always just see how, so Becca, so the problem is partially is that you're just not getting your chest up. So that's when like sticking a bolster or something underneath your chest can really help, because then you at least have a shot of getting the hands in the position. But until your chest is up high, it's kind of hard to do that. So you just need to practice, but not bad. Pretty good attempt. Okay, so let's get moving here. You're gonna get out of that pose, get yourself a downward facing dog. Let's meet up in down dog for Dhanurasana. So inhale forward, lower down, and then listen, I want you to kind of enter it like Shalabhasana. So you're going to really engage the legs to lift the legs, and then bend the knees, lift the upper body, and then catch. And then everything lifts up. So in the perfect world, in the perfect Dhanurasana in Ashtanga anyways, you would have your feet up over your head. That might not be the reality of the posture, which is no big deal, but so you kind of keep lifting up, pulling up, drishtis to the nose, and then exhale and lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips pull you back, downward facing dog. Okay. Let's do Parshva Dhanurasana, which is just the side lying version of that. So enter Dhanurasana the same way. Go ahead, lift up, catch the ankles, pull. And I think that that's really key in Parshva Dhanurasana is to get established in the pose first, and then you roll over to your right side. But if you're not established in it first, then the rolling gets really difficult. So, and then once you roll, you keep pulling. Like you have to stay as engaged in the posture when you're in Parshva Dhanurasana as you do when you're in the regular Dhanurasana. So after 5 breaths, inhale back to the middle, pause, get lifted, and then roll to the second side. And then you have another 5 breaths on the second side. And if you can't roll, just keep lifting up and opening up and doing it. There. Yeah, there you go, Becca. And then inhale back to the middle, lift up again. So Becca, you're holding it for a long time, but that's okay. And then lower down. We'll skip the 5 breaths, lower down, inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Okay, and then the last posture we're gonna do from second series is Ustrasana. From here, hop forward to your knees. And lift the chest up, like really, 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 really project the chest up. Take your hands down. You can choose if the hands go to your heels or to blocks, or if you even want to turn your toes under so that you can pop your heels up a little bit higher. So if your heels feel super far away, that's a nice option. Another good option is to just put your hands on your sacrum and kind of do it like this, but of course on your knees, not standing. Good. Yeah, there you go, Becca. Becca, turn your toes under and pop the heels up. And you guys who have been in it for a while, you can of course come out of it. And then reach back for the ankles or heels, either one. You got it. You're there. You're super close, Becca. So what you might want to do, Becca, is not today, but hands on blocks, 1 block under each hand, and do it like that, like pushing down into the blocks, because I think you just need a little bit more height. Yay. All right, Becca, you do Ustrasana. Everyone else take a vinyasa, jump through, lie down. And let's start with a bridge pose. So go ahead. I'm going to watch Becca. Everyone else do a bridge pose. I think you know what you're doing. Go ahead, Becca. Not bad. Yeah, you might need taller blocks, but it's not bad, Becca. So have you, did you watch, I can't remember if you attended, but the live training on backbends?
I did the first one.
So this, yeah, this, I mean, yeah, just keep working on it. You'll get it, but I think the blocks will help you a little bit more there.
That's my tightest is backbending. So
yeah, and that's the only way. That's one of the nice things about backbending, though. The more you do it, the looser it usually gets better. Unlike some other postures, the more you do it, the worse they get. So, all right, Urdhva Dhanurasana. We'll do 3. Place your hands, and when you're ready, come on up. I think everyone knows what they're doing, so I'm not gonna have to cue you too much. So, yeah, if the shoulders are in external rotation here and the legs, I mean, do your best to adduct them. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. And then after your 5th breath, you can go ahead and lower down, and you'll do 2 more. Remember to keep the hamstrings engaged and the glutes really engaged. So the legs do a lot of work here. And then after your 5th breath, lower down. And then we got 1 more. So set up, place your hands by your ears, shoulders with the fingertips a little bit turned out, And then use the glutes to lift up, use your hamstrings to lift up, push into the hands. And then really ground the feet here in it's like you're making a circle with your legs. So the circle starts from the glutes, and it's this big circle around the outer thigh and down the inner thigh. And your chest is reaching toward the back edge of the mat. The legs are reaching forward. If you are in the mood to stand up and that's something that you do, go right ahead. If you don't want to, definitely don't do it. Did you want to go back down too, Paul? All right, Paul's going to go down. Definitely not a mandatory, not a mandatory thing. But if you feel like throwing in an extra back bend, you can. In the meantime, good. Okay. All right, I'm going to let Paul keep playing with his back bends. But everyone else, hug your knees into your chest. And then we'll take a nice little psoas stretch here. So what you're going to do is you hug the knees into your chest and then drop both legs over to the right side and keep your hand on that top knee, which is now your left knee. So your right hand's kind of pushing the knees down in this twist. And the left arm reaches all the way up and over the ear. So drop the legs over to the right, Paul. Put the top hand here, push down and pull. So you should feel like a pretty nice stretch for the psoas. And you can even take your right hand and kind of push it into your psoas a little if you want to tickle you. Sorry, to try to like get the psoas to release a little bit. Hopefully this feels good. Go ahead and change sides. Paul, take the arm over the shoulder more because I actually think that's usually a better stretch. So the top arm is reaching up and over. Yeah. Great. Okay, and then come back up to the middle. And then from here, we're gonna move into shoulder stand. Do you want a pad? Yeah, so if you want to set up on a blanket or a pad, we're gonna do shoulder stand in our live training, which I think is in like a week or something. So we'll work on it then. But for today, if you want to set up on a pad, go ahead and do that. And then remember, it's shoulder stand, so you really want the foundation of the posture to be your shoulders. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take the hips up over the shoulders. Come here, Hampy. Good. Push the hands into the back and the back into the hands, and then push the elbows really, really firmly down into the mat. The legs are up over the head. You kind of push your feet down towards the front edge of your mat, so the legs are moving away from your face a little bit. Gaze at the belly, breathe. You just can't stop. As soon as Paul lies down on the mat, Hampy just comes over to lick the sweat off of him. So. Becca, push your legs away from your face a little bit. You're a little bit too hinged. There you go. Perfect. Let's do a couple more breaths here. And then move into Halasana. Take the feet over the head. Typically the feet should be pointed here in Ashtanga, but if it feels crunchy for your neck, the flexed feet with the pads of the toes down on the mat certainly makes a little bit more space for things. And keep pushing the shoulders down as part of the foundation, the arms down as part of the foundation. From here, if you want to move into Karna Pidasana, where you bend the knees and squeeze the ears, go for it. And then take it back up. And we're going to skip the Padmasanas because I have been teaching. I feel like I am a little bit behind our schedule. Not that we have a strict schedule, but maybe some of you guys do. So go ahead and lower down, and we're going to go into the Uttanasana. So, why am I forgetting the name? What is it? What is it? Uttana Padasana. Really spacing on this. Okay, so anyways, you're opening up your chest. If you want to reach the legs up at a diagonal line, you can with the feet together. But that can be a lot on the hip flexors. Okay. And then from here, lower down, take Chakrasana if it's available to you. If it's not available to you, roll up to a seated position and do a regular vinyasa. And we're going to set up for Shirshasana, headstand. So let's have you interlace your fingers and elbows down, and then prepare for the pose by, setting the head down in between the hands, walking the toes in towards the elbows, shifting the weight into the arms. And then as you're ready, or if you're ready, when you're ready, go ahead and take it up. And if taking it up feels just like you're not ready today, period, you stay in that pike position and you build the strength in your arms and your core. So why don't we work on, we'll do a couple of these drills that David Greek has been having Paul and me do in the Mysore we do with him. So what you're going to do is reach if you have your stability here, you keep the left leg reaching up, and I want you to pull the right thigh all the way down to the chest like Paul is doing, and see how that changes the curve of his back a little bit. So if you've got the banana back, super good thing to do. Yeah, great, Mike, great. And then change. Yep. Keep reaching the top leg more, Mike. So yeah, exactly. And then keep that leg up, Mike, and then take the other leg up and change. So you go back up and then switch. Yeah. And now switch. Try it again. Mm-hmm. So Becca, this is super helpful for people when you have like the banana action in the back, because see how it makes it a little bit more aponic through the low back? Like it gets, keep going. Yeah, see how like and it really does help improve the line. Okay. All right. So that's good. Great, Mike. Perfect. Mm-hmm. We'll play with it. We're going to have that shoulder stand. We're going to have a closing sequence training. So we'll play with it there. Go ahead and lower all the way down and take a child's posture. And then from your child's pose, you've got one last vinyasa here. And you're going to jump through to a seated position. Crisscross legs or lotus if lotus is available to you. And then bind your lotus if that's available to you. Yoga mudra. So you create a mudra here. You make a seal, a container for your energy. Fold if you can. And breathe. And then sit back up and take Padmasana for 10 breaths. So you're going to make a mudra now with your fingers, your thumb and your index finger. And sit up tall, create a clear channel for your prana to travel through. 10 breaths. Happy. And Utput Tahi, put your hands down outside of your hips, push down, uproot your lotus. So just push, take whatever you can get up off the mat. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we are going to finish. We'll do the closing mantra together today. So we'll do call and response. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale. And then inhale for the Om. Om. Swasti Prajabhyaha Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thanks, you guys. I'm going to let you take Shavasana on your own today. So we have a Sutras Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Otherwise, thanks so much for being here. Stay sane today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great to see you, Becca. I'll see you soon, Mike. I'll see you, Tasha. Have a great day.